for the audience, and if they aren't right, then the audience isn't going to be in the picture.
Fear attracts the fearful. Fear is my ally.
As the classic battle between good and evil played out on location, Lucas turned to his costume department to help portray both the beauty and the barbarity of his galaxy far, far away.
Costumes in any kind of film are very important in defining the character and defining the culture and making things feel realistic. So the costumes are a very integral part in the overall design of the film.
I will take back what's ours.
Portman's costumes are not only stunning, but they actually helped her portray the regal leader of the besieged planet Naboo.
Well, being in the costumes themselves and having the strange makeup and hair really made me feel different. You feel like a different person. When you feel like a different person, it's easier to act like a different person. It also changes your movement. If you've got a big thing on your head, you have to walk straighter. You can't slouch like an American teenager. You have to stand straight like a queen so that it doesn't knock you over.
Well, she sure looks like a queen. Well, the first of his 3 Star Wars films in 1977 made Mark Hamill a huge star. So what's he been doing since his movie series ended? See if you can figure out this Star Wars E.T. Hollywood history. It had been 8 years since the premiere of his final Star Wars film, and E.T. was at home with the Hamills to talk about his success.
After the screening of Jedi, we got chased down the street, and it was exactly like out of Hard Day's Night. I mean, we were laughing because we thought, how stupid. If they catch us, what will they do? I have fond memories, but no desire to really go back and be doing them again.
Can you guess which year in E.T. Hollywood history this happened? Is it 1990, 91, or 1992? Your answer's next on the weekend edition of Entertainment Tonight.
Also coming up, Star Wars star Ewan McGregor. Leonard Maltin's inside conversation with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Bloody hell, you said to yourself, I'm in Star Wars.
The fan frenzy continues, and we have all the Star Wars toys and trinkets in the Entertainment Tonight cover story. What's out there? What's a collector's item? And how much cash are they really worth? More Phantom Menace behind the scenes. Meet the new computer-generated comic character as he gets into his costume. That's next.
Fans have been waiting a decade and a half for Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and every day closer to its debut makes them crazier and crazier.
We are the dorks of the century.
Get ready for the merchandising madness because a brand new batch of Star Wars toys lasted into stores across America.
Come and get it!
The crowd went wild at FAO Schwartz to be the first to get their hands on the stuff. And here's a glimpse of what every kid will be clamoring for.
Oh yeah, Darth Maul. He's the bad guy with the double-edged lightsaber, and he's the one I'm coming here to see.
I'll take a heart attack if I have to get inside.
This is my first trip. I'm going to give it to a friend, come back to another trip, come back to another trip. I'll pay the credit card bills later. What do I care?
And buying is just what toy stores are counting on, with the hot new Lego set and everything from Darth Maul to the double-bladed lightsaber. Analysts predict spin-off sales could exceed $1 billion.
And nobody should sleep until Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, comes out.
The mania spread to Denver as a convention of worshipers decked out as their sci-fi favorites.
Harrison Ford, eat your heart out.
I'm from Tennessee. I'm from Minnesota.
You got heroes, you got princesses, you got evil dudes.
I glued all those ones on his head.
Here, let me point one at me. I saw it at least 20 times at the theater when it first came out, and I can remember going back home and building lightsabers out of golf tubes and flashlights, early, you know?
The Force hit the Big Apple as well, as New Yorkers hunkered down and began the long wait for tickets.
Some of my friends do think it's a little over the top.
They understand I'm a Star Wars freak, and this is something I have to do.
Only 1.5 more weeks of waiting. And later on ET, we'll show you all the Star Wars merchandise and how much money those Phantom Menace tie-ins can potentially take in.
And up next, the wild behind-the-scenes footage of the making of the film, featuring more than 1,000 costumes.
You look good in those. You look fantastic.
Next on ET.
It had been 8 years years since the premiere of his final Star Wars film, and E.T. was at home with the Hamills to talk about his success. Which year in E.T. Hollywood history did this happen? It's 1991. Return of the Jedi premiered in 1983.
Our exclusive Star Wars Week coverage continues with a look at the unique fashions designed just for the film. E.T.'s Leonard Maltin takes you behind the scenes for the costumes that could only come from a galaxy far, far away.
When I initially saw the designs, I was like, wow, I have to do this.
As if its stunning special effects weren't enough, the Phantom Menace boasts a galaxy of majestic costumes that impress even the Jedi Knights.
I just think the grey costumes, I think Ewan looks fantastic in his.
You look good in yours. You look fantastic.
Yep, I think that looks good.
Writer-director George Lucas proclaims that this prequel has the most elaborate wardrobe of any film in his motion picture career, topping even his original epic.
On the first films, costumes were designed not to draw attention to themselves. In the new film, the costumes do draw attention to themselves. They have to, because they're in a more sophisticated society. And to do that and keep it timeless is much more difficult. So this is red, and then this is red.
To create this cosmic couture, Lucas enlisted the aid of renowned costume designer Tricia Bigger, who assembled 50 of Hollywood's finest wardrobe artists to assist her.
When I first started in the film, we were going to have 3 costumes for the Queen. And as time went on, George decided that every time we saw the Queen, that she was going to have a different costume.
No, Your Highness.
There's so many changes for me because a queen can't wear the same outfit twice.
She travels, she goes to the Senate, and each one of those demanded a different type of costume.
And Portman's sci-fi frocks were only the beginning. The costume department labored for nearly a year to create dozens of dazzling designs, inspired by the ancient cultures of Europe, Asia, and Africa.
The look of the costumes taps into all these various cultures that we all subliminally recognize, you know? It's very clever. You still have much to learn, my young apprentice.
And while Jedi robes may seem relatively plain, Ewan McGregor insists they're a perfect fit.
It was extraordinary to stand in front of the mirror with all my wardrobe on and stuff. Because I was Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, and it was quite a moment for a young man.
As the duo battles the dark side, they encounter an interstellar cast of thousands. Producer Rick McCallum told me each has its own distinct look.
You can't go to a wardrobe shop and rent costumes for this kind of movie. That was so apparent to us from the very beginning. What wasn't apparent to us was how many costumes we'd have to build. It ended up being about 1,100.
We've done 2 versions of this armour in different types of quilting.
To do individual costumes and do them in the thousands is a very, very difficult task. But I did want the military to have several different kinds of outfits, that the officers were different than the enlisted men, that the pilots were different than the troopers.
I will sign no treaty, Senator.
But among the alien hordes, Portman is the film's most stunning vision. She even appreciates the heavy headpieces.
It's good for the effect of the film, as long as it doesn't give me brain damage or anything. I'm all for it.
Thanks a lot, Leonard. And right now we have new material handed over straight from George Lucas himself, from candid moments behind the scenes with the stars to the latest alien faces to full-throttle scenes from the movie. Step into the world of Star Wars Episode 1, and what becomes clear is both a sense of wonder and a feeling of déjà vu.
George's tales, the Star Wars tales, have really tapped into a psyche in the world that popular culture has never done before.
Set 30 years before the original Star Wars, The Phantom Menace centers on Luke Skywalker's father, Anakin, played by child actor Jake Lloyd.
He's been a slave in his entire life on Tatooine, and now he has to leave his mom. She's been the only person that's there for him for his entire life.
I'm playing the mother of Anakin.
I ever see your kid?
What does it hurt to tell you? She's very strong in a way because she really do believe in him and that he's gonna take the responsibility of his own life. So I think she's very brave in a way to let him go.
Anakin does leave and meets some wild new characters. One of the new faces he meets is sure to become an audience favorite, the computer-animated Jar Jar Binks, voiced by newcomer Ahmad Best.
There's never been a real
comic